After the Gaokao, the beloved school beauty proclaimed her knowledge of a training institution for college application guidance. Upon enrollment, one could directly apply to prestigious universities. I found this notion absurd and fervently dissuaded my eager classmates from pursuing it. Ultimately, my classmates heeded my advice and were successfully admitted to their desired universities. To my astonishment, shortly after the commencement of the school year, the school beauty fell from a building on the new campus, meeting her untimely demise. Countless compromising photographs and videos were discovered in her dormitory, revealing the inhumane torment she had endured. While former classmates expressed their sentiments, they all remarked on her ill fate. Years later, at a reunion, my boyfriend intentionally intoxicated me and stabbed me numerous times. With bloodshot eyes, he bellowed, "If it weren't for you stopping us from accompanying Xuan to the training, we would have long been at the same university. With my protection, she would not have encountered such misfortune." Others echoed his sentiments, asserting, "I believe you altered Xuan's application to prove your correctness. You are the one who caused her demise." Upon regaining consciousness, I coldly observed everyone accompanying the school beauty to the college application training course. A life as wretched as that of a common fowl is what you all truly deserve. Su Jixia, do not presume that your position as class monitor grants you the right to slander Xian, all right? What do you mean by irregular? If Xian can recommend it to us, surely she must have vetted it thoroughly. Clearly, your intentions are simply to prevent us from attending the same prestigious university as Xian. I abruptly opened my eyes and found Jiang Lixuan gazing at me innocently, her delicate features etched with grievance. It dawned on me that I had been reborn. Jiang Lixuan bit her lip timidly and spoke, "Jixia, I know you dislike me, but I genuinely mean well. Jin University is among the top 3 universities in the nation, and I have confirmed that if one does not get accepted, a full refund is guaranteed. There is no loss for anyone. Yet, no matter when I hear such words, they still strike me as absurd. If one fails to gain admission, what does it matter if the money is refunded? However, in this new life, I would not offer any further counsel." I swiftly grabbed my backpack and turned to leave. "Fine, go ahead then." She paused for a moment, her eyes suddenly reddening as she choked out, "Isn't this just a sign that you don't trust me? I truly do not understand why you always perceive me so negatively. Is it merely because I share a good relationship with Jinghe?" Before I could retort, my shoulder was forcefully shoved aside. In the next instant, my athletic boyfriend, Lu Jinghe, stood between us. As he had in my previous life, he scolded me upon arrival. "Su Jixia, who doesn't know that Xian is my little sister? Why must you harbor such sordid thoughts? Moreover, we are a collective. Since there is an opportunity for us to attend university together, why do you object? Or is it that you are simply envious of Xian, fearing she will outshine you in the crowd?" Gazing at his face, the pain of being stabbed in my former life surged through me once more. I glared at him, wishing I could rend him to pieces. Noticing my indifference, he suddenly hurled the basketball at me with force. "I'm speaking to you. Aren't you always using your status as class monitor to target Xian? Why are you acting like a quail now?" I was caught off guard and collided with the corner of a desk.
Jeanne Lixuan feignait d'agent l'intervention, Jing.
Let it go, while secretly kicking me hard from behind. Unable to contain my frustration, I shoved her away. "Get lost." Lu Jinghe quickly caught her, exclaiming, "You. Xian offered you a chance at Jin University. If you don't appreciate it, that's one thing, but how dare you push her?" Jiang Lixuan's eyes brimmed with tears as she lamented, "If everyone is unwilling, I want to force it. After all, I am merely trying to help you all with an opportunity." Upon hearing this, the other classmates began to push forward. "Xian, if Su Jixia doesn't want to go, she should just relinquish her spot. She simply can't afford it anyway, so why put on airs?" I could see the frenzy in her eyes. She was desperate to attend that university. Jin University? They were oblivious to the fact that it was merely a sham institution masquerading under its name. In my previous life, I had gone to great lengths for their sake, personally confirming the legitimacy of Jin University and staying up late to investigate the voluntary application training agency, only to discover that they even falsified their business license. My well-intentioned warnings had led to my tragic demise. I had no desire to be a fool again. Let them be fooled. Taking a deep breath, I suppressed my simmering rage and gestured before turning to leave. Yet Lu Jinghe blocked my path, his expression dark as he said, "You hurt Xian and expect to walk away just like that? Hurry up and apologize to her. He pressed down hard on my shoulders, adding, to express your contrition, you will cover the training fees for Xian and me. It's not much, just 3,000 each. Then I might consider forgiving you. I was taken aback, incredulous laughter escaping me. Did I hear correctly? You both stabbed me in the back and expect me to pay? The atmosphere suddenly fell silent. Everyone seemed unable to believe that the person who once chased after Lu Jinghe was now boldly contradicting him. Lu Jinghe was momentarily stunned, then flushed with anger as he shouted, Su Jixia, why do you have such vile thoughts? Jiang Lixuan paused, feigning regret, and said, Jixia, a few days ago, I accidentally saw you checking scores. Your score is the lowest among us all. If it weren't for the fact that you are Jinghe's girlfriend, I wouldn't have even considered giving you this chance. Checking scores? What she saw was likely me looking up Lu Jinghe's score, which was indeed a dismal 203. I had originally thought I would accompany him if he needed to retake, but now, I couldn't care less about his fate. Lu Jinghe snorted coldly. Draping his arm around Jiang Lixuan's shoulders, Xian, let it go. She's just bitter because she can't have the grapes and is deluding herself into thinking she's a victim. Once we are at Jin University, she'll be the one regretting it. As he spoke, he gazed at Jiang Lixuan with a flirtatious expression. Don't worry, Xian. Once we are at Jin University, I will protect you 24 hours a day. However, Jiang Lixuan deliberately shrugged off Lu Jinghe's hand, saying, please don't do that. Jixia is still here. It would be burdensome to be labeled as the third party. I remembered that fateful day at the school pool when Jiang Lixuan feigned a cramp, clinging to Lu Jinghe, and I had seen his reaction. I merely asked out of jealousy, and the next day, Jiang Lixuan was in a frenzy, claiming I slandered her and forcing me to apologize. From that day on, Lu Jinghe's gaze towards me was filled with disdain. Reflecting on this, I looked at Lu Jinghe with a sardonic smile and said, Lu Jinghe, let us break up. This way, your dear sister 1T be the third party. With that, I left without a backward glance. Once Lu Jinghe realized what had happened, he shouted after me, Su Jixia, do you really think I like you? I'm going to Jin University now. You should consider if you're worthy of me. I paid him no mind and instead turned to block him on all contact platforms. From now on, let them languish in that sham university with Jiang Lixuan. After parting ways, I went straight back to my dormitory to fill out my own applications for the real Jin University. In the days that followed, I observed the class group chat with a mix of intention and nonchalance, watching them dream of the idyllic life that awaited them post-admission to Jin University. Have you all joined the Jin University forum? I heard there's a handsome senior there, incredibly charming. Not only the forum, I even infiltrated the freshman group. Just thinking about the first day of school makes me giddy. All of this thanks to Xian. I never expected her to be so capable, knowing about such institutions. They deliberately steered the conversation towards me, unlike certain individuals who can only indulge in jealousy and pretentiousness, accomplishing nothing. At that moment, Jiang Lixuan suddenly spammed a series of photos of her kissing Lu Jinghe. After 2 years together, I had never even managed to take a picture holding hands with him. Yet they had already made such advances. Within 2 minutes, Jiang Lixuan pretended to panic as she hurriedly retracted, Sorry, I thought it was a private message. I hope I didn't disturb anyone. Upon reading that, the mocking comments directed at me intensified. Xian is the school beauty. Who wouldn't he admire her? Exactly. Some people should take a good look in the mirror. How dare they compete with Xian for a man? I was just about to mute the group when, in the next second, Lu Jinghe messaged me. It's been thundering these past few days. I was just accompanying Xian because she's timid. Don't read too much into it. Additionally, I have a gift for you. Please stop causing a scene. This unexpected gesture of goodwill left me feeling uneasy. My heart raced as I quickly muted the group and logged into my application system. The information displayed on the screen left me in shock. It turned out that the gift Lu Jinghe mentioned was that my first-choice university had been changed to the same sham institution as theirs. Although its name was similar to Jin University, it was merely a fraudulent college. With only half an hour until the application deadline, I hurriedly changed my password and submitted a new application. 2 days later, I received my acceptance letter from Jin University. In the circle of friends, my classmates are flaunting their acceptance letters from dubious universities. At first glance, the forgeries appear convincingly authentic. I recall in my previous life, Despite my earnest attempts to dissuade my classmates from enrolling in that training program, many, like Jiang Lixuan, fell victim to the deception. Long before the semester commenced, some parents had realized something was amiss and reported it to the authorities. Yet, Jiang Lixuan, concerned about her image, chose to attend knowing full well it was a sham institution, and thus, trouble ensued. The thought of this brings a smile to my face. In this lifetime, with so many classmates supporting her, she should be content, shouldn't she? On the day of the school's appreciation banquet, Lu Jinghe intercepted me at the school gate. "Have you received your acceptance letter?" he inquired. I shook the package in my hand, beaming yes from Jean University. A smug smile crept across his lips as he declared, "Aren't I generous? Without me, you'd be facing a year of repeating classes. You owe me for that training fee, and you'll need to reimburse me once school starts." He then pressed a room key into my hand, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. "However, if you're willing to accompany me, that could be arranged." Anger surged within me, nearly causing me to falter. I slammed the room key against his face and shouted, loud enough for all to hear, "Do you have no shame?" He stood there, momentarily stunned, before forcefully gripping my wrist.
Suzy Xia.
"I've extended an olive branch for peace. What more do you want? Everyone in our class has been accepted to Jean University. Why must you stand apart?" I wrenched my arm free. "Lu Jinghe, do I need your pity? You know full well you scored a mere 203. Jean University. More like you've been cornered by Jiang Lixuan's thigh." Hearing the commotion, others gathered around us. The students of our class, suddenly agitated, stepped forward to push me aside. "What are you saying? We've all received our acceptance letters from Jean University. Don't pretend to be strong here. You don't realize that if it weren't for Jinghe changing your application, you'd still be at home crying under the covers." At this, I slapped Lu Jinghe hard across the face. "I haven't even asked you. On what grounds did you alter my application?" He was taken aback, then glared at me defiantly.
Suzy Xia.
"You're utterly ungrateful. If you think so little of it, then tear up your acceptance letter." He reached for the package in my hands. I sidestepped his advance and kicked him from behind. "This acceptance letter is mine, earned by my own application. Who dares to tear it up?" At that moment, Jiang Lixuan rushed into the crowd, panic etched across her face as she helped Lu Jinghe to his feet. His neck and chest were marked with numerous red impressions. She glanced at the room key on the ground, her expression filled with jealousy. "Are you planning to seek Jinghe's forgiveness with such a despicable tactic? How disgusting you are!" The crowd turned to the room key, scoffing as they laughed derisively. They hardly considered their own worth, assuming that a mere hotel room could mend their relationships. Who would have thought she would stoop so low? And yet, she still holds the position of class monitor? If she's feeling frisky, perhaps she should consider selling herself. Jiang Lixuan, sensing the shift, pointed an accusatory finger at me. "Jixia, you have gone too far. A person like you does not deserve to attend the same university as us." I chuckled, unable to help but expose her. "What university? The Jean University affiliated college? Have you even inquired if such an institution exists? You lot, with your lack of merit, still aspire to attend Jean University? Are you still dreaming?" I added, kicking Lu Jinghe again. "And you, keep that mud of yours on a tighter leash. Stop letting it roam free to bite others." Just as my words fell, our homeroom teacher rushed over, her face pale with anger as she surveyed the scene. "What on earth is happening here?" The students quickly surrounded me, clamoring in unison. "Teacher, it was Suzy Xia who struck first. She's jealous that we've all been accepted to Jean University." As these accusations flew, the teacher's expression darkened further. She knew her students had been duped by a false institution. Jiang Lixuan, seeing her classmates rallying behind her, gleefully pointed at me.
Suzy Xia.
"I demand you kneel and apologize to me and Jinghe. Otherwise." Before she could finish, several uniformed police officers entered the school gate. "Which one of you is Jiang Lixuan?" Upon seeing the officers, everyone fell silent, their whispers filling the air. Did someone call the police because they couldn't bear to see Lixuan bullied? It must be true. Suzy Xia was so fierce. Our homeroom teacher, Ms. Li, turned pale and hurried forward to plead. "My students may have been misled." Before she could finish, Jiang Lixuan, with tears in her eyes, confronted her. "Ms. Li, although Suzy Xia is the class monitor, you can't just protect her." Her voice trembled with feigned grievance. Today is the appreciation banquet. We all returned to express our gratitude for your guidance over the past 3 years. How can you stand by and watch Su Jixia assault us while aiding her? With her tears flowing, Lu Jinghe quickly chimed in. That's right. Su Jixia was the one who struck first. If anyone should be punished, it's her. Other classmates, emboldened, pushed me forward.
Su Jixia.
If you oppose us, this lesson is something you must endure. Let's see if you dare to bully Li Xuan again. Or disrupt Li Xuan's relationship with Jinghe. Some even picked up the room key from the ground, mockingly declaring, rushing to find someone for a hotel room right after graduation. Clearly experienced in such matters. Who knows how they conduct themselves in private? As they feigned panic and distanced themselves from me, Jiang Li Xuan, with a glint of malice in her eyes, handed her acceptance letter to Ms. Li. She raised her chin haughtily and declared, Ms. Li,
I know you only have eyes for Su Jixia,
but this time you'll be disappointed. All of us have been accepted to Jin University. Upon hearing the name Jin University, the officer frowned. Jin University? You must be Jiang Li Xuan, correct? Lu Jinghe, confused, wrapped his arms around Jiang Li Xuan, proclaiming, Li Xuan is our school star. Not only is she beautiful, but she also excels academically. Are you here to escort her for an interview? I cringed at the awkwardness, while others eagerly gathered around, thrilled that we too had been accepted to Jin University.
We all got in.
Don't forget to take us along for the interview.
Exactly.
Since our entire class was accepted, we must have garnered some attention. They even sent officers to meet us. I noticed Ms. Li's expression darkening further. I smiled and retrieved my acceptance letter from the package. If yours is from Jin University, then what does mine say? At my words, everyone turned to me, their eyes wide with disbelief. Upon seeing the words Jin University on my acceptance letter, their faces transformed with shock. What's going on? Why does hers look different from ours? Hers even has a three-dimensional card? Who makes acceptance letters so ostentatious? I bet hers is a fake. As they reached for my acceptance letter, I swiftly snatched Jiang Li Xuan's from her grasp, grinning as I said, Jin University affiliated college? If you're going to forge something, at least make it believable. Hearing this, the crowd erupted into chaos, especially Lu Jinghe, who yelled at me, how is it possible that ours is different? I clearly helped you change your first choice. His face flushed with anger. I see you're just vain. You must have made yourself a different one. When will you ever learn to stop seeking attention? I quickly interrupted him, turning to the officer. He admitted to privately altering my first choice. Should I not report this? Only then did Jiang Li Xuan catch on. She threw herself into Lu Jinghe's arms, sobbing. So it was her who called the police. Jinghe, we thought we were being kind, but we ended up in trouble. More and more classmates closed in around me, some even picking up stones to hurl at me. You ungrateful wretch. Li Xuan worked so hard to secure your acceptance to Jin University, and you still reported her. Ms. Li snapped back to reality, urgently pushing through the throng to shield me. With disappointment etched on her face, she shouted at them. What Su Jixia holds in her hand. The acceptance letter from Jin University is indeed genuine. You all have been deceived. After a moment of stunned silence, the atmosphere erupted with anger as everyone clutched their acceptance letters, disbelief etched on their faces. Impossible. I spent 3,000 yuan on my application. How could it be fake? Uncle Hat, upon hearing this, turned to Jiang Li Xuan with a grave expression. Articulating each word with precision, someone has reported that you are falsely promoting a certain college application training institution. Under the guise of Jin University, you have led others to apply to an unapproved institution lacking the qualifications for higher education, profiting from the commissions. He stepped forward. Now, you will accompany us back and cooperate with the investigation. Upon hearing Uncle Hat's words, the class erupted in chaos. What does this mean? Lacking qualifications for higher education, isn't that just a diploma mill? As realization dawned, they violently tugged at Jiang Li Xuan's hair, shouting, Jiang Li Xuan, we followed your advice and applied only to this one school. If it turns out to be fake, what will we do? With my score, I could have enrolled in a regular university. Now, I can only attend a diploma mill. How will you compensate me for this? Jiang Li Xuan was now thoroughly panicked. She shook her head vehemently, her voice cracking. It's not me. I applied too. If I were intentionally harming you, I wouldn't have applied myself. Suddenly, she turned to me, her gaze turning venomous, and I distinctly saw Su Jixia's score was only 203. How could she possibly get into Jin University? As she spoke, she lunged towards me, gripping my arm fiercely. It must be her. Su Zixia is the class monitor and has access to all our application account passwords. She must have logged in and tampered with our first choice. Jiang Lishuan's fervor escalated. Look, the entire class applied to the diploma mill, except for her. Isn't that clear evidence? I scoffed, shaking off her grasp. I surveyed the room, gazing at those who had once conspired against me. Don't you know your own scores? The admission score for Jin University is 720. You ought to realize that it's implausible to trust this. Jiang Lishuan attempted to retort, but suddenly someone excitedly knocked her to the ground. Stop making excuses. It's you. You're the one who made us fill in that school code. You've ruined us. Others joined in, pointing and cursing. Just now, Uncle Hat mentioned you were taking commissions. I see you've been plotting to deceive us all along. You applied too, not because you did well. Exactly. You just wanted to drag us down with you. Lu Jinghe stood aside, his face pale, swaying slightly, clearly reluctant to believe the unfolding events. The homeroom teacher, observing the turmoil, sighed. Before the application process, the school distributed flyers warning everyone to be cautious of unqualified training institutions. But now, it's too late to lament. Uncle Hat shook his head, then approached Jiang Lishuan. Come with us. As Jiang Lishuan was taken away, the others turned back to me, pressing, Su Zixia, did you know that institution was fake all along? Why didn't you tell us?
Yes.
You knew it was fake. Why didn't you warn us? In that moment, I felt an inexplicable surge of annoyance. In my previous life, I had informed them, only to be met with their betrayal. This time, I remained silent. Yet they were dissatisfied. I pushed them away. Weren't you the ones mocking me for not attending due to financial constraints? Why are you blaming me now? They stood frozen, momentarily speechless. Then they turned on Lu Jinghe. You were the one who first believed Jiang Lishuan, weren't you? Yes. It's him. He has a crush on Jiang Lishuan and would do anything to please her. I believed him because he was so adamant. It's all his fault. Lu Jinghe suddenly shoved them to the ground. What nonsense. Now that something has gone wrong, you blame me. At that moment, the entire class sank to the ground, wailing uncontrollably. If our parents find out, they will never forgive me. I've already told relatives and friends that I got into Jin University. If they discover the truth, I might as well not live. The thought of their past actions towards me filled me with a sense of satisfaction. They brought this upon themselves and can't blame anyone else. After the teacher appreciation banquet concluded, I was preparing to gather my belongings and leave when Lu Jinghe appeared behind me, seemingly out of nowhere. He looked at me with a sense of entitlement, devoid of any remorse. Zixia, I acknowledge that altering your first choice without your consent was my mistake. But I only did it because I didn't want to be apart from you. Moreover, you're fine now, aren't you? Please forgive me. I glanced up at him with disdain, too weary to respond. He hesitated, stepping closer. After 2 years together, can you truly bear to abandon me? I found his proximity unbearable and couldn't help but retort. What exactly do you want? He must have thought I was softening. His eyes suddenly brightened, and he grasped my hand. Zixia, will you repeat the year with me? I believe that next year we can both get into Jin University. His grip was warm and insistent, as if trying to pull me under with him. Hearing his words made my heart ache, not from the prospect of separation, but from the realization of how foolish I had been before. Lu Jinghe was a well-known athlete at school, tall and handsome, and many girls had tried and failed to win his affection. Yet this very person had chosen me. Initially, we were indeed happy, and he made significant academic progress under my guidance. I had once naively believed we would both be admitted to Jin University, until he began associating with Jiang Lishuan. He grew increasingly negligent, even attempting to coax me into skipping class just to buy sanitary pads for Jiang Lishuan. If he truly wished to stay with me, he should never have acted in such a way. Shaking off my thoughts, I picked up my backpack and walked away. My future is bright, and I shall not accompany you in this folly any longer. He stood there, mouth agape, his face flushed with frustration, yet he couldn't utter a single word. 2 days later, news of Jiang Lishuan broke. Uncle Hat and the media arrived at the training institution only to find it deserted. Investigations revealed that this so-called institution lacked even the most basic business licenses. Jiang Lixuan had merely worked there as a summer intern, tasked with recruiting participants to collect training fees, all while promoting a college masquerading under a prestigious name. Ironically, Jiang Lixuan herself had been brainwashed, firmly believing in the legitimacy of the operation. Ultimately, the police concluded that Jiang Lixuan bore only partial responsibility and deemed her another victim, resulting in a few days of detention and a fine. When the news spread, parents of my classmates rushed to Jiang Lixuan's home, cameras in hand. They blocked her doorstep, demanding compensation for training fees and other damages. Jiang Lixuan, with her head held high, unrepentantly dismissed them. Your son insisted on enrolling with me. What does it have to do with me? When they received their acceptance letters, they never criticized me. Now that it's a diploma mill, they come to me. How ridiculous. As the live broadcast unfolded, Jiang Lixuan's once delicate and fragile school beauty persona completely crumbled. Her haughty and abrasive demeanor spread like wildfire across the internet, with a comments section filled with scorn. Uncertain whether to prove herself or due to financial necessity, she still chose to attend that diploma mill on the first day of school. Several classmates, unwilling to repeat the year, reluctantly followed suit, including Lu Jinghe. Upon hearing this news, I immediately recalled the incident from my previous life, where Jiang Lixuan had tragically jumped from a building just a week later. An unqualified diploma mill would surely be a place filled with dubious characters. However, this no longer concerned me. A few days into the new school year, I swiftly adapted to my new campus life. Due to her outstanding academic performance, she became the representative for the new students. Yet, Jiang Lixuan remained unconvinced. She incessantly bombarded me with intimate photographs of herself and Lu Jinghe sent from unfamiliar numbers. Su Zhixia, do you think we are not thriving here? You have no idea that even after coming here, I still reign as the campus belle. Jinghe takes great care of me. As for Jinghe and me, we've been together for quite some time. Today, several oblivious male classmates attempted to pursue me. Can you believe it? Jinghe chased them away with a single punch. The numbers she used to contact me were endless, and I eventually chose to ignore her. It wasn't until a month later that her messages abruptly ceased. I initially thought she had simply lost interest, but the following day, I received news of her tragic fall from a height. This incident spread like wildfire across the internet. Her classmates from the same school began discussing it fervently in our old group chat. Jiang Lixuan has died, and it was quite a gruesome end. They say she fell from the 7th floor rooftop, yet she was found without a stitch of clothing. I saw her last time in the East District cafeteria, mingling with several tattooed seniors. I wonder if Lu Jinghe is aware of this. Lu Jinghe hastily replied, I have already broken up with her. It has nothing to do with me. After uttering those words, he promptly exited the group chat. To my surprise, that afternoon, I was contacted by the police. They informed me that Jiang Lixuan and I had been messaging frequently and needed me to accompany them to the affiliated college of Jinda for an investigation. Although I felt trepidation, I complied. Upon seeing me, Lu Jinghe hurried over, exclaiming, Zhixia, I have decided to drop out. I want to return to repeat a year. Will you wait for me for a year? I promise to strive for admission to Jinda and to be with you again. His voice trembled, and he averted his gaze. Other classmates echoed his sentiment. I too wish to withdraw. Even if I stop studying, I won't remain here. This place is too terrifying. The police frowned and inquired,
What is so frightening?
They stammered, the students here are all delinquents, often bringing unsavory characters back. Indeed, nothing of substance could be learned here. Some students had not even taken the college entrance examination but merely paid to gain admission. As the police took notes, a few individuals claiming to be from the school approached stealthily. They slid something into the officer's hands, whispering, Isn't this just a minor issue? Is it necessary for you to come here? The officer's expressions darkened instantly as they cuffed one of them, declaring, Are you attempting to bribe us? Our investigation is not only concerning Jiang Lixuan's fall but also your illegal recruitment under the guise of Jinda's name. We have gathered evidence over the past 2 weeks. It suddenly dawned on me that in my previous life, the university had been shut down only after Jiang Lixuan's tragic demise. The panicked individuals exclaimed, Jiang Lixuan was the one who sold herself as soon as she arrived. We couldn't stop her. You don't believe us? Just ask the classmates. Her personal conduct has nothing to do with our school. As they spoke, they produced various indecent photographs of Jiang Lixuan to substantiate their claims. I recognized those images as the ones discovered in her dormitory in my past life. I never anticipated that in this new life, she would meet the same fate. Yet, when Lu Jinghe beheld those photos, his eyes darted, betraying his guilt. He murmured, "During this time, I indeed often couldn't find Jiang Lixuan. I didn't know where she went. Sometimes returning to school in the dead of night. The police turned to me. What about you? She frequently messaged you. Did you notice anything unusual?" I then opened my phone to scrutinize her later messages. Gradually, I discerned that her subsequent messages lacked the initial provocation and instead conveyed a sense of madness. Jinghe said he would protect me at this school 24 hours a day. I believe him. Are you jealous? Jinghe stated he would not let me be bullied. Jinghe is mine. Whatever he asks me to do, I shall comply. I relayed the messages and numbers to the police for their review. Upon careful comparison, the officers noted Jiang Lixuan previously used a virtual number to message Su Zhixia, but this number is unfamiliar to us. It appears she had a spare phone, or a different SIM card. Lu Jinghe panicked instantly, exclaiming, "What spare phone and SIM card? There's none. I know Jiang Lixuan. She only has one phone and one SIM card." The police, seasoned in their investigations, sensed something amiss with Lu Jinghe. They hurriedly searched Jiang Lixuan's dormitory meticulously, ultimately discovering a phone wrapped in cling film inside the toilet tank. At the moment they powered on the device, a video came into view. In the footage, Lu Jinghe appeared irritable, scolding Jiang Lixuan, "You lured me here under false pretenses because you owe me. Do as you're told without dawdling. Hurry up. It's just a video recording. If you don't film it, Brother Wang will be displeased, and I can only imagine how he will torment you. By the way, Brother Wang mentioned he would bring a big boss from another school to meet you tomorrow. Why cry? Didn't you love being the campus belle? Now that a big boss has taken notice of you, you could earn 5,000 in one night. Isn't that good?" As the video concluded, Lu Jinghe sat on the ground, pallid and defeated, muttering, "It wasn't me, I was forced." Witnessing this scene stirred a sense of lament within me. Lu Jinghe had consistently professed his intent to accompany Jiang Lixuan through college, vowing to protect her around the clock. Little did I expect that he would ultimately be the one to cast her into the abyss. At that moment, several police officers rushed in, exclaiming, "Fortunately, we had sealed off the campus in advance. Just moments ago, around 10 students attempted to escape, one named Wang Xian, claiming to be the big shot of the school." Consequently, Lu Jinghe and those involved were apprehended together. Upon seeing Lu Jinghe, Wang Xian erupted in anger, hurling insults. "What a useless fool. You can't even handle this. Watch how I make you suffer inside." Before long, this so-called affiliated college of Jinda was shut down. All the students withdrew, either to repeat a year or abandon their studies altogether. A month later, I was invited back to my alma mater to recount this incident, hoping to remind the younger students to remain vigilant and not fall prey to such institutions. A junior timidly inquired from the audience, how could they believe such absurdity? I recalled Jiang Lixuan as seemingly innocent visage as the campus belle and shook my head. I truly do not know. However, once you choose a path, regretting it becomes a challenge. Everyone, remember to stay grounded in the future. The end of the narrative. Thank you for listening, and until our next story, farewell.